Oh, hey, thanks for joining me today. Keith and I gathered some heifers out of a pasture that we call our dirty water pasture. Pretty cool. There's 63 in there and we got all 63 of them. A lot of times when you're gathering big pastures on the desert, you'll end up leaving one or two that you have to go back for. But we were cowboys today. We got them all in. So we sorted, climbing the fence while I'm talking to you. We sorted these heifers up, and there's about 40 of them that are too small to rope. They'll be ready in probably 40, 45, 50 days, something like that. So we're gonna take them back where they came from, let them grow up a little bit. So we're gonna put them down here at the end of this alley. Keith's gonna four-wheel them back across the pasture. They know where they're going. They'll probably shoot right across there. The gate's open. There's nothing in this pasture that we're crossing. So I see another one that'll rope. We're gonna have to get her. She just jumped right out at me right there. I don't know why I didn't see her when I was sorting. She's right there. Right there. Hey, Keith. Bring one back to me right here. I got one that'll work. We're gonna sort one more off. Hey, there's one in there that'll rope. Here she comes. See her right there?
Yeah.
I don't know how we missed her.
Yep. Hey!
She'll work, huh?
Good horn. Any more?
No, I think that's it. Okay, we'll kick the rest of these down there, that bottom pin, and take them back across the pasture. Come on, ladies. Come on, little girls. There's a few more in here that it won't take them too long. They're gonna be ready. It's good to get these little cattle in and work them a little bit, just to kind of gentle them down. So we'll turn them back across right now and take them over to this other pasture. Hey, I really like that they came out of that corral and then just kind of hung out right here and didn't take off. All right, we'll tuck them away over in our dirty water pasture. We'll have some of them ready to rope about 40 days from now. Yesterday, we sent some cattle to a rodeo, and half of them are done and ready to come back. So I told them I'd hook onto a trailer and come get them. So I'm gonna hook onto the EB and run up to Apache Junction and grab some steers. Hey.
Hey. Hey, can I borrow that?
Yeah. You want to borrow it?
Yep, for the weekend.
For the weekend?
Yep.
Check it out.
I'm flank bucking horses in it.
Okay. You can't hardly see out of it, but...
That's okay.
What do I look like?
A horse's head.
Hey, you almost said something else.
I did almost.
What was it?
Horse's.
All right, we're loading the EB. 7 and 9 and... Hey, 7 and 9, what'll that leave for the rest of them?
What's that?
7 and 9, what'll that leave for the rest of them?
7 and 9, 16. So it'll leave 12.
That'll work. We sent enough steers up here that they only got one run here at the rodeo. Put that on, I want to see what it's going to look like. So I jump out with this mask on. He says he's got to borrow it
No different.
to flank horses. I like that.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You can't see.
Hey, your ears are even pinned back and everything.
Yeah.
Like you look like you're getting after it. Let's see, hey, move his hat. I want to see it like a little, perfect. I want to see like a little cutting horse action.
No.
Can you see me?
No.
Huh?
No. That's a hot sucker too.
Yeah, you won't wear it very long.
No, heck no you won't.
Don't lose it.
I won't lose
My
it.
grandkids.
I'll buy them another one if I do. I won't lose it.
Okay.
I promise.
All right.
Okay.
See ya.
We'll see you guys.
See you guys. Okay. We are going to put these cattle back in a different pasture than what they came out of. Just, well, anyway, we need to keep them separate from the other cattle. We're gonna put them right here. The water's right down there. This is our airport pasture. It's close to the corrals. So we'll kick them out right here. As a cowman, you're always looking at feed and how it's growing and what there is and what's available. And just right here in this little trap, well, it's a section by, it's a mile by mile square, so it's a section. Right here in this pasture, there's a lot of different varieties, and we're standing here talking about what all we have. So we have, on this ranch, we have fillery, we have Indian wheat, we have 6 weeks grass, we have cumber, we have Malba weed, which cattle will eat when it's small. Anyway, let's talk about it a little bit.
They also eat Malva weed after it dries out.
Yeah.
But they don't like it when it's growing
and let me add this. They eat it when it freezes and then they die.
That's right.
Which we kind of lucked out on this year. We had a hard freeze here about a month ago, and we might have lost 1 or 2, but we didn't see a lot of loss. A friend of ours that's pasturing cattle, 40 miles south of here, I think he lost, what did I tell you, 15 or 18 head.
Yeah.
Anyway, show us what we're looking at.
Okay, there's the seeds coming on fillery. Fillery could get up, it lays along the ground, but once it starts really growing, it's gonna stand up. And
It's a legume, so it's like an alfalfa plant. It puts down a taproot.
And if you pick up a little fillery, take it home, put ranch dressing on it, and it's kind of like spinach, pretty good. Has good flavor. Cattle really like it. Lots of seed like that.
Let me say this about Fillory. Last year, we had a really good year, but very little Fillory. And what's the reason for why no Fillory? When you have a lot of drought, Fillory dies out.
You have to build year after year, because if you have 5 wet years, then each year the seed is going to propagate, be there, come back more and more. So since this is following a good year, there's more of it. But if you have 5 dry years in a row, it grows, doesn't put out seed or doesn't grow, and it's kind of gone.
Okay, Dad.
Yep.
You're up. Pick up some grass and talk about it.
Here's a little of that Malva right here.
Okay, grab some of it.
But it's real, this is real small.
I mean, I make my 88-year-old dad bend over and pick that weed up off the ground. That's what keeps him young. Okay, what have you got?
No, just a little Malva weed. Over there off the highway where it gets a lot of water, it grows up like a jungle. It's almost head high over there, and it gets big old stems on it, and they don't like it then, but they'll eat it when it's young like this.
Okay, show us here. I'll get it for you. Show us this right here. What's that?
That's 6 weeks grass.
Is it good nutrition?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you see a lot of little seed in it.
And that I don't know why they call it 6 weeks grass. Maybe because 6 weeks after it rains, it comes up.
Yeah,
but it's one of the first things to come up.
It's a quick grower. Grows real quick. The first.
It's probably one of the first ones to start drying out too.
Yep. But when it dries out too, it's got a little seed in it. They like that.
You got something else?
Cumber.
Tell us about Cumber.
Well, it's pretty good at that point, but it's going to start getting real prickly, and they're not going to like it anymore real soon, and they'll leave it. But Cumber is like evasive or pervasive, whatever the word is. I don't know what it is.
It takes over?
It takes over, yeah.
Is that Cumber right there?
Invasive.
Is this Cumber right here?
No, that's
right
another
here.
weed. No.
This? No?
You know, when
This is Cumber over here.
when I was working for the bank, I was up on the Arizona Strip, and we was making an appraisal up there, and I was riding with Lindell Formaster, and there's some different grasses up there, and I'd say, Lindell, what's this grass? And he says, that's Edom. And then pretty soon I'd get something else. I'd say, what's this? And he says, no Edom. I says, well, what about this one? That's Edom. And I says, well, as far as you're concerned, there's only 2 kinds of vegetation, right? And he says, yeah, they're just Edoms and no Edoms. He says, you don't need to know all the fancy names. It's just one or the other. They eat them or they don't eat them. So all these fancy names, why, you don't need to know them.
How about this right here?
Well, the only good thing it does is makes a little bit of shade, so you can get 6 week grass underneath it. Creosote.
Hey, that's a good way to look at that, because you can look out across this pasture and there's lots of creosote, and you can think, man, it'd sure be nice if all that creosote was knocked down. But like Keith just said, look right here. Look at the difference between what's up underneath there. I mean, a steer right now can get, look at that. I pulled it out by the roots, but they chew it off. But I mean, he can get a big old mouthful of feed right there, as opposed to, say, right here, it's a little shorter. And the reason is the little mound of dirt around the creosote holds more moisture, provides a little shade so that the feed doesn't burn up underneath there. Good point. So here's the deal. Here's the life lesson. You have things in your life like this creosote that you think is, you know, in your way. If you run over this with a truck, it's gonna maybe puncture your tire. But with everything with all the problems that it causes, there's some good that also puts off as well. So you got to take the bad to get the good.
For cow feed, pretty soon we're going to start looking for the first sign of any mesquite beans and mark down on the calendar whether that's April 15th or when. So maybe some of the viewers can say what day they think will be the first day we find
We haven't seen any
mesquite.
blooms yet. We got to have the blooms.
Got to
first.
have blooms, and then you have to actually have a bean, mesquite beans, good feed.
Sound like you're just choking on a little bit of that
Fillery,
fillery.
yeah, pretty rich.
You know, we got a lot of cholla out in some parts of the ranch too, and there again, that cholla shades a lot, and that grass will grow up tall under those chollas, but the cattle are pretty careful about getting in there to get it, but they'll get their nose full of cholla spines every once in a while. If they're not real careful of getting in there to get that grass under the chollas, right, to get their mouth full of spines. We've had a few cows where they got their mouths so full of spines they couldn't graze because it hurt them to graze. They could drink water, but they couldn't graze because it had all those quills in their mouth and it just poked them when they try to graze.
Hi.
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 Hey, so I don't know if you've read the comments the last day or so, and I can't remember if it was today's or yesterday's. I think it was today's comments. They said it should be a new rule. Did you read that one?
I haven't answered
That-
any because we've had kids at home.
The new rule is that Amy should be on every episode.
You think so, huh?
That's what the people say.
Oh, okay. I had a hard time getting here. They shut the road down and I couldn't get through. So I told the officer that I had came by there at least 3 different times, and this was the 4th time. So let me in by the hair of my chinny chin chin, right? Yeah, this girl's ready to get home.
They had an accident down the road, another 3 or 4 miles from here. And so after they got all the traffic through on Ironwood, they cut all the traffic off. They weren't letting anybody in. And Amy told them, I'm not going as far as the accident. So they let her through.
Yeah, I scared the guy really bad because I parked and then nobody was around. So I walked around the front of his truck because his door was open and he was down behind the door where you could barely see him, and he was munching on his dinner. And I said, hello? Oh, where did you come from? I said, my truck. Where's your truck? So I had to park a little ways away to be able to get to him. So that's why I didn't stop the first 3 times I came through, because you couldn't get close enough to talk to anybody. So anyway.
She was persistent.
Persistence.
Here she is.
I'm here.
Okay. Tell everybody good night.
Good night. Sleep well. Flake out.